So my talk's called Archivist Toolkit, or How an Archivist Got His Groove Back, and I am an archivist. Archivist Toolkit is an open source relational database application for back office archival functions. It was released under the Educational Community License. And it's used for things like arrangement, description, accessioning of archival collections. If you want to know what all that stuff is, ask me later. It's a two-phase project funded by the Mellon Foundation, and the three main development sites are the 5 colleges libraries in Massachusetts, New York University, and UC San Diego. It's written in Java with these and other libraries. It's originally was just supporting MySQL, but now it also supports SQL Server and Oracle. And those of you who want to know if it supports Postgres, they're interested in doing it, but they haven't had anybody sort of step up to the plate and say, be an active development site to test it out. One of the big things that's really important about it is that it promotes standardization, standards in particular, like describing archives, a content standard, and the international standard for archival description, and the international standard for archival authority records. And one of the big problems for archivists is that we don't like to follow standards, apparently. So what else is this good for? And there's your answer. One of the best things about it that I like is that it's a centralized way to create and maintain metadata for archival resources, be they collections, individual item level things, digital resources. It ingests a variety of metadata and it exports a whole bunch. And what does this mean? No more hand coding EAD. It's got a number of primary modules that you can see here. The meta modules are basically what that means is they kind of interrelate between these different modules. Here's a screenshot of what the names module looks like. This is pretty straightforward. This is what an accession record looks like. And, there are multiple fields on the form and multiple tabs. One of the things that I find most interesting about this is the ability to add user-defined fields pretty easily. And this is what the resources description framework is. And this is once you're in the process of actually processing the collection and, for better for worse, creating a finding aid, and allows this, standardized hierarchical description. And so how do I use it? Originally, AIP just planned on using the description module. Our EAD workflow was really screwed up. If you saw my lightning talk last year, that was sort of related, but and then we decided to use the accessions module as well. We have an existing Microsoft Access database, which has had a lot of problems. The data is surprisingly not super messy, but we haven't, we basically didn't have any direct way to improve upon it until now. And this is the fun part, importing a legacy database. We had a bunch of fields which didn't map directly, things like AV preservation information. So a lot of it was this legwork, sort of me sitting down with my coworkers and saying, okay, what do we actually need? And the way I ended up doing the mapping is just sitting down with a printout of listing of all the columns and the different tables and saying, all right, this is where this is going. When I did the import, I used a CSV dump from Microsoft Access, did it a couple of times, and it took only 10 days from start to finish. The gotchas are, obviously, you need to think carefully about data cleanup. A big thing is, particularly inconsistencies that you have in forming a name if you don't have an accessions database which has an authority module built in. There's still many subtle bugs that the dev team hasn't accounted for completely. You can only import one MARC XML record at a time. And probably the two big things for me is there was no way to import location information directly, and breaking apart name headings, that was messy. So in summary, the software is rapidly maturing. The dev team is great. They respond really quickly, and they're looking for a new staff developer. They just posted the position again. So if you have any other questions, I've got like 28 seconds.